Come.
But that's a save.
Look at you.
Hey, girl.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You looking so radiant.
Look at you. I haven't seen you in a bit.
I know, Mama. How are you, my love? Thanks for the invitation to start off.
You're
So sweet.
welcome. Thank you for joining me.
I'm excited.
So am I. So am I. We've been waiting for you. This has been a long time in the making.
I know. We've been talking about it since what, last year?
I think so. It has been.
I know. Well,
So I wanted you to come in so that you could be able to see the comments as well. So that we both know what everybody's saying. So of course everybody's been ready.
So then let me get my glasses because I'm not gonna lie, I'm blind. So I'm gonna get my glasses.
That's why I got mine on.
Give me two. Give me two.
Okay, go ahead. Welcome in, everyone. Tap that screen, share this out, repost, add to your story. I know where we need glasses. Yeah, we need glasses. I can't see the screen if I don't have my glasses on. Coffee and glasses. Absolutely. We need to brand that.
I'm back.
Yes.
I want to be able to see it because my vision is so bad. All right, so I see Mary Ann's in the house. Blessing the Beats, Boney's in.
Well, first I want to start off by congratulating you and Chris on your new grandbaby.
Thank you. She's so beautiful. She was 4 weeks early.
Really?
Yeah, she was 4 weeks early. That was kind of scary. She was small, but she's already gained so much. So she's close to close to 7 pounds now. 7 pounds, 2 ounces, but she was born 6 pounds.
Oh, okay. And how is Gianna? How was she?
She's good. She's loving every minute. You know, we're all excited for her. So she's a great mommy, and you know, she's always taking care of her nieces, and I think she's always had that motherly instinct. I always knew she was going to be a young mom because she always says, at this age, I want to have a child. She always manifested everything. So,
but she's in her 20s, right?
Yeah. She'll be 27.
Oh, okay. So to me, I feel like, I was 22 when I had my son. So for me, I feel like now like that was young.
Right. I was 23. 23 and 28.
There you go. You see, so not bad. Hey, welcome in, guys.
The first two. Yeah.
That is awesome. Yes, welcome in, everyone. So everyone say hi to Brenda. We're here with Brenda K. Starr. I really believe she doesn't need an introduction. Everybody knows who Brenda is. So I always try to do like a little questions. I set up stuff. So I go through the little things. So first question is, what made you realize music was your calling?
I just think that nothing else had my attention. I was very ADD. I was always running around doing something. I'm always up to date. I'm still really a hyper person and love to like enjoy, make a room busy and have a good time. But I just feel like music is what really caught my attention and I was able to focus. And I just really found a passion in writing and singing at a very young age. I think at maybe like 4 or 5, I used to always want to dance on the tables and sing, but just very young. It's been since I can remember, honestly.
That is awesome. Growing up in New York, how did the city's music scene influence you, or did it influence you?
I grew up in the White Style Project, so there was so much of eclectic types of music that were being played there. You had salsa coming out of the windows. You had hip hop from certain windows. We had like outdoor parties on the weekends. We would get like a neighborhood guy that would just like plug his speakers in from his bedroom downstairs, and we would do like an area where we just played music and everybody danced. So you had all types of music. So it was definitely a very eclectic type of environment where there was salsa, hip hop, R&B, pop, dance, freestyle. So we were always blessed to hear all types of music in my neighborhood, which I think is the reason why I never really stayed focused on one particular genre.
I think that's like when people talk about New York, and growing up in New York, I think that's the thing that brings us to New York, right? Because I grew up with the block parties, I'm sure you did, and you listened to all types of music. It wasn't just one genre. So you had the ability to explore all of that, which is good because then it led you into what you do. I get my nickname from Cheche, the song Cheche Cole. That's where it comes from.
Oh my God, really?
Yes, because my dad apparently used to play it all the time, and every time
Old
he would play it,
school.
yes, he would play it, and then I would dance.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. That's
So it's
old
even
school.
me, like I mean, I'm not a singer, but I grew up with having music in me. So when people, how this started was that people would ask me like how I got into freestyle, how I know all these people, and in the beginning, people didn't believe me. Like I've been around everyone, I've seen them, whatever,
Yes.
and
We've known each other for a long time.
for a long time. So people ask me, and somebody asked me earlier, they're like, how did you get her to agree? And I'm like, I reached out. I'm like, you ask, and if you ask, then hopefully, yes, you'll get it done. I mean, it's, and I always say this in my lives is I don't like bothering, that. I let you guys have your space. I let you guys do your thing. But when it comes to this social media, I found that there's such a huge, and I'm sure you've seen this. There's such a huge freestyle community and salsa community on TikTok
Right.
that it's good to be able to bring you guys
Of
in
course.
and then talk about the things that people normally don't ask, like the silly things. So although it is about you, we I wanted
But
to
I
make
think
sure like
people do. I do. Excuse me. I do think people sometimes find a misconception of artists and interviews. How it's hard to get us to want to do it. But the truth of the matter is like Cheche and so many other people that interview us, it's just a platform for us to not only expose our music, but to speak to the fans, interact. And hi, Johnny Cho, how are you? Billy Jack is in the house. But I think just really connecting with the public. So for me, I love to do these interviews, and I told you as soon as I'm available, as soon as I'm available. This is the first time I'm available because I've been doing promotion for the new salsa, and it's really old salsa because Te Sigo Esperando was my first album with Platano Records, and I re-recorded No Digas Nada. So that just came out recently, the last 2 months, 2.5 months. So I've been promoting it in different places. I was in Colombia, just got back from Peru. So for me, when I do these interviews, it's definitely a platform for me to keep my fans updated, but more than that, to give them thanks. So siempre estoy agradecida a los fanáticos que siempre me persiguen, que siempre me dio la oportunidad para vivir mis sueños, y haciendo la entrevista para mí es algo muy especial porque estoy expresando mi gratitud a todo el mundo por todo el apoyo que siempre me brinda, y que estoy súper agradecida por todo, porque si no fuera para mis fanáticos no podía tener un trabajo. So for me, I try to address the public in my interviews. So this is important for me just as it is for you.
yes, absolutely. And for me, it's like it's full circle for me basically, because growing up as a fan, listening to you guys, going to clubs at the age of 16, 17, and seeing you guys perform. I can't even remember when was the first time I saw you perform as a young person, but I remember the first time seeing you as an adult. It was in some club in the city. You guys had come in, you were in a bus,
Oh, on the
and
tour bus.
on the
Okay,
tour
we had
bus.
the tour bus.
And
Okay.
I remember that, and I was like, oh my God, it was so exciting. And I think I still wasn't involved with Sal at that time. So I was being like really, really hardcore fan, like, oh my God, there goes Brenda, like, watching you on TV. And I think for me, um, the way my outlook to you changed when Gianna was on American Idol. Just
Yes.
and anytime I've rewatched when she gets picked, I think I cry every time with
So do I.
you.
So do I. So do I. I mean, I think that's a side that yourself and many other fans and people that watch American Idol have the opportunity to see me as a mother, as just generally just like a human, opposed to someone who's a star, who's always in the eye of the public, who they may think because the type of success one has, it changes the individual. But for me, it doesn't. It's something so full circle for me because I watch Gianna basically, sing and remind me a lot of myself growing up. My daughter Tori has a beautiful voice. Like she's recorded stuff. She wrote a song for my mom, and it's just like I just feel like watching them really makes me so proud. And sometimes people don't see that side of me. So I guess when watching American Idol, people are like, damn, she's crying again. It's like I was just so proud. I was just so proud of her. And it just made me feel like no matter how hard it is in life, sometimes it's just the reward to see your kids do well and just really live their dream and have an opportunity to do something that they wish they could do. So for her, that was something she always wanted to do. So she can always remember that memory, and so can I. So it kind of connected us in a certain way that made me not only more proud, but it just made me feel like it was a full circle moment.
Yeah, and even for like now, looking at her at the age she is now, anytime I look at the I Still Believe video, I think you guys look so much alike. Like her at this age and you at that age. And every time it's like looking at the mini me. And I've seen you guys perform together. And it's amazing to watch that transition. And yes, and people don't realize that. And I think that's the same thing for me. Like when I come around you guys, and why I say I don't like bothering, because I know that you guys are busy, you guys need your space. But this is where the cruises come in. These cruises have allowed us to get to know you on a whole other level.
Right.
Like, so for those of you in the chat that are going on the cruise in January, look out. Brenda's the party queen and on the cruises. Brenda loves to party, and it is amazing to see and to be a part of that and to get to enjoy you guys, I think, on a social level where it's different.
Yeah, I think so. And I just also think that because it's a cruise and we're performing on it and we want the people to have a great time, it's also an opportunity. Tumio's coming on the cruise. That's going to be great. So is Roseanne. Good. I love it. I think when I'm going on the cruise, what I'm trying to say is that I work all year round, on and off, between promotion, recording, performing. Going on this cruise is an opportunity for me not only to perform, but to let loose and enjoy myself and consider it a vacation. Not that I can't take a vacation on my own, but it gives me a chance to kind of like enjoy the cruise, meet new people, give thanks to the fans that come out and support the music, but it also gives me a chance to just like unwind and have fun. And for me, I have no inhibitions. So what you see is what you get. I'm having a good time on the cruise. And, if you want to grab them cameras, it is what it is, because I'm just as human as everybody else going on that cruise. We're there to have a good time. We're there to unwind. We're there to connect. We're there to give thanks. But it's all about good fun, pretty much. All in good fun. And it's very well put together. I must.
Absolutely. And watching it, like I've only missed two. The very first one and the one right after COVID. And every year it's just gotten bigger and better every time. This year, 2026, was supposed to be my last one, right? My friend and I were like, this is
year. I said it too. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going next year. I might, something overseas. And it's funny because the cruise switched, and then now I've been asked to go to overseas. So it always seems to fall in place where that I'm able to participate. But every year it's like, nah, next year I'm going to give it a break. So maybe, they'll miss me next year and I'll be able to do something different. But then I just always seem to be pulled back in, and I love every minute of it, because it's like the artists are so in touch with each other. We have a great time. Last year we did a lip sync off, which was great, and I was able to premiere my new song Set Me Free. And every year we just seem to step it up just like another notch.
Oh my God, I know. This one is like, I don't even know. It's endless artists, DJs, between the artists and the DJs, and then the locations we're going on. It's a new ship this time around. So
Yes.
it's so many new things. I was like, okay, wait, I have to go to this one. I can't miss
You
it.
should. Yeah,
And
I mean,
then this time around,
last weekend, I think it was this past weekend, I just saw DJ Mike Ski DJing and in Atlantic City. And we went down to support. It was very last minute. It wasn't too far from where we were. And I was like, yeah, let's go support. So you just see how many people get together. So just imagine that times 5. So, so there's at least 900 people. So just imagine.
I
It's
know.
insane.
It's gonna be insane. That
Got
that
people on the boat that don't even have access that want to sneak in. It's hysterical. Let's
just
agree.
make sure this time around you make sure you have your costumes in the carry-on.
Oh my God. Can you believe that? I've never, everybody, ever since then, I put, what is it, air tags in it because I didn't know anything about that. And I always have my luggage. And I don't know, I had a weird feeling. So I was like, I'm going to hold my stage outfit because it was custom and I didn't want to put it in the luggage. I didn't want to get wrinkled. It was already pressed, etc. So I put it on the plane with me and we hung it up. And I got to the airport and I had no luggage. So I kept going back and forth and we were there for like 2 days. And I had just went to like every store from the mall to Walmart to Nike, anything that I could find to just throw on to get around. But I was a nervous wreck because it was almost 8 o'clock and my bags still weren't there. So I had to literally go shopping within 24 hours to have clothes for the boat. But I don't know how I did it. As long I got my shoes, I'm not lying. I got my shoes from I got my shoes from Ross. I got my listen, I manage it because like I was saying, you can spend a lot of money. It's what you put together that can make it look expensive. So because I didn't have the shoes that I planned on wearing and no stores had gold heels. Ask me why. So I got my shoes at Ross. And let me tell you something. They were the most comfortable shoes I wore. So I never got my luggage, and since I never got my luggage, I got reimbursed somewhat. But now every time I travel, I have
Wait, so they lost their luggage completely?
Yes.
You never got it back at all?
I don't think they lost it. I think somebody knew who was who, what was what, because the girl took pictures with us in the airport and they signed autographs, and then they said it was never checked in, and then I showed them the pass, and then they said, well, I don't know where it ended up. We can't find it. It is what it is. They can wear it in good health, right? It was just sad
Okay.
because a lot of the stuff I got from Amanda Jean NYC, and I had everything labeled for days. Just because for me, I love to really dress up and color coordinate. And I was a little bummed out, but I did the best of. I made the best of what I had, and not for nothing, I had a great time.
And
At the
honestly,
beginning, I was a
if it
little
wasn't
sad.
if it wasn't because I was a part of all of that and I didn't know, no one would have known.
Right. I was sad at the beginning. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little upset. But then everybody was offering me. I got this. I got that. It's new. I never wore it. But you know what? As long as I had my stage outfit, it was that gold outfit I wore that came up, and I really love that outfit because I designed it. And then to have lost it, I would have been bummed out. But you know what?
Definitely.
I think whatever happened was supposed to happen, and it just taught me a lesson to never leave without tagging my luggage. So
Yeah, you know what? And a friend of my that my cruise mate that goes with me every time, she always has air tags on all of her stuff. And I need to do that too, because I always get worried, especially now. I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna have all these extra luggages because between the themes and the regular days.
yes.
So we gotta make sure we don't lose our stuff, guys. All of you that are going on the cruise, make sure you get air tags.
Yeah, for sure. And not only that, just remember, start preparing now because there's so many great ideas you have, and a lot of people put a lot of time into these character things in terms of each night that has a theme. So it's especially your favorite cartoon, I think it is, or favorite superhero, one of those.
Yes.
And I'm already like looking into my favorite cartoon.
I know, me too. Brenda, C-Bank is in the chat.
Hi, C. What's up, Mama? She's so sweet, such a doll.
Yes, she is. What's up?
Yeah, but next weekend we're gonna be at Beatstock. C-Bank's gonna be there as well. We got Beatstock for KTU. I'm gonna be singing Set Me Free, I Miss You, I Still Believe. And it's kind of a medley because, as you know, there's over 15 acts. So we all only have a certain amount of time slot. So I think my time slot's like 12 and a half minutes. So I got to do a show tape that emulates a majority of all my songs and then pop into I Still
Are you
Believe.
doing both days?
I am doing both days. I am. I'm
Okay.
doing it in Jones Beach and I'm also doing PNC as well. And then I'm also doing Vito Bruno's Hard Rock in on
November.
November. It's November 14th. So
Yes.
I'll be in Atlantic City if they want to get their tickets there. Hoping to try to put together with Vito some type of meet and greet so we can meet and greet our fans. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody that came out to the Miccosukee Casino and Resort in Miami, Florida. And I apologize that the meet and greet went so fast. That wasn't my intentions. But I think because there was a certain time frame, we had to make it out. And it was like we were trying our best. But I did promise some fans that did pay for the meet and greet that if I ever am in their area to please message me. I would love to give them an autographed picture, or a piece of merchandise, just because I kind of felt it wasn't the promoter's fault. I just felt like because the casino was closing the certain area down, you could get fined. We didn't realize it was going to happen that quick. But, to all the fans, me, George, and everyone else, we extend our heartfelt, I guess it's our, just to say that we're sorry and we wish we could have made it last longer, but it's beyond our control.
Yeah. So I hope to be at Hard Rock this year because that lineup is amazing as well, including
Yeah.
Lisa, which is on there as well. And I know C-Bank is on there and the usual suspects. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's been a long time. The last time I went to Hard Rock was a few years ago. I can't remember. It was a few years ago that you guys were out there that I went to. And so I'm looking forward to this one in November, which is awesome. Which
Yeah.
one? And Hard Rock in
In Atlantic
AC.
City, New Jersey, yes.
Yeah,
The
in
Hard Rock in
AC
Atlantic
Rock.
City, New Jersey. We're not doing the one in Florida.
Oh, you're not doing that one this year?
No, estamos solamente voy a estar en Atlantic City, Nueva Jersey, and solamente vamos a hacer freestyle. Maybe hay una oportunidad that I will sing Herida, but it depends on the time. As I mentioned, when there's so many acts, it's in and out. That's why I love when I get to do my concerts that are salsa or freestyle, and it's maybe two of us or three artists, because it gives us the liberty to be able to perform much longer, if that makes sense. So,
Yes. So Billy Crespo is asking if you can say hi to Chris.
I will, Billy. How are you?
Yes. Okay, so let's get back to these
Oh my
questions.
God. I was in my yard. Look how red I am. Oof. I got
Okay.
dark today.
So I Still Believe became one of your songs. What memory comes to mind when you hear it today?
The first time I got my heart broken. That's what it's about. It's about being hurt and wanting to come back and hopefully relive the love that you once had. So when I got that song, it was the first time I ever started getting serious with someone. And I was about 15, and it happened to be my first two daughters' dad. And my heart was broken and we broke up and then we ended up getting back. So I really just, every time I think of it, I think of when I first got my heart broken. And then just really opening the doors for me as Brenda K, Starr, and giving me the opportunity to get recognition in the music. So it basically just brings me back to dealing with heartbreak, but learning out of heartbreak brought me something so much bigger and better, which not meaning that falling in love and breaking my heart wasn't something that everyone has experienced in life at least once.
Yeah.
It gave me the opportunity to realize my worth and how people appreciated my voice. So it really opened so many doors. So that's what really comes to mind. Just like getting hurt, but really winning at the end.
So when you hear it now and you hear like the younger generation listening to it now, and how does that make you feel? Because I know I hear it all the time and I still feel the same feelings I felt when I was a 15-year-old girl hearing it for the first time.
I mean, I love to hear it, and on the radio, it's nostalgic. You're like, oh my God, this is me when I was a kid, but mostly what really intrigues me is listening to so many newer versions that are being made. And it just really resonates that, wow, I really had a hit record, and I really am, and I'm not being cocky. I really am an icon. Like I am a staple in the music industry, and not for other reasons, but because of a beautiful song that was not only done by by different artists, but even a newer generation. Like I just saw two guys. I can't remember their name from the top of my head. An Afro American and I think he was Philippine. They re-sang "I Still Believe," and they did an amazing job. And then I saw Charlie Puth do a new take on "I Still Believe." So for me, I love that, especially even hearing younger kids. So it just really is like, I don't know. I feel not only blessed, but I think I feel honored that people find such joy in the song and it really resonates with them, not only musically, but vocally. So I don't know. I'm proud. I'm proud. I think I should be proud. I mean, I'm a young girl from New York City, from the projects. It's not easy I mean, now it's so much more easier to get a record deal because you have so many social media platforms and opportunities, such as TikTok. But I think what really is good for me is to say, wow, I was 13 years old, 14 years old. People were starting to look into me, want to give me record deals. Like, that's not normal for a little girl. I mean, it happened for Stacey Lattisaw, and she was blessed. But I never thought it would be me from White Tower Projects, from a single mother of seven, and who struggled. And then I think about it because I mean, I don't want to talk too much, but the other night I went out with my stylist and Chris, and we had an event we went to. And after the event for Fighting Fibroids, I was walking in Manhattan and I saw a place called Don't Tell Mamas. And I used to sing there when I was a little girl, 13, 14, 11. It was every Saturday. And we would go perform. And I went in there and I literally felt teary eyed because I wanted this so bad, so young, that while my mother was busting her hump, I would take the bus downtown or a train at 13 when it was so safe back in the day. And I would get myself there and I would sing. So I sat in there and I looked at my husband and I looked at the stylist and I kind of got emotional because I said, wow, I must have really wanted it that bad that I got myself here so young. He goes, what are you talking about? I says, I was a little girl up there because the stage looked so big to me as a little girl when I came as a woman and I looked at it, it looked like a tiny little stage. And I just felt at that moment like that was God telling me, listen, this is where your career began, continue, and you have so much more to look forward to. You've done so much and I still feel like I still have so much more to give.
So in comparing that to now, so and how far you've come, what is the best venue that where you've been that you've performed at?
Hands down, I would say Carnegie Hall. It's iconic. It's a place that my father got to see me perform before he passed away. My dad really didn't come to many of my shows because he was in the Spiral Staircase. Him and my mom separated when we were young. And he had his own life. And when he could, he would come visit, but it would never be to my shows. And he would see me on TV and be proud of me. But I think the staple of it being Carnegie Hall, and I was representing Celia Cruz. It was tribute to Celia Cruz, and I sang Herida. And it was the first time I ever got to see my dad cry. So that would be hands down my first favorite place to sing. And then Madison Square Garden because I've done it a couple of times, but Carnegie Hall only one time. And one time was enough for me to say, wow, I've been blessed. I still have the bill with it's saved. Yeah.
That is awesome because yeah, to do it one time and to be able to say I got to sing salsa at Carnegie Hall and then to be representing such another huge icon like Celia Cruz. So of course I would say the same thing. I'm so happy that I did that. I got to achieve that goal. And the fact that your dad was there, it makes it even more better because he got to see you perform. For me, my big thing, I always tell people in the chat, like those who know that I worked for WWF, my biggest thing in life was being able to take my dad to see wrestling and be third row from the ring and have that moment. So for you and in your career, this is an amazing step for you and being there and doing those things. And it's just like you keep going up from there. Like where else can you go?
Yeah.
Chrissy Ice is in the chat.
Hey, Chrissy. Hi, Mama. I think, that before he passed away, just being able to perform at Carnegie Hall, it's like that. Not everybody gets that opportunity, you know. Just like I got to go Romania and represent the United States, and they were like 40 something singers from different countries, and I came in second place. And who gets to go to Romania and visit Transylvania and go up in that big castle? So those are things that I got to enjoy. So for me, I think, you know, the first place would be Carnegie Hall, second place, hands down, Madison Square Garden, and third place would be Romania. Those are my three top.
Wow, that is, and then you get to travel to all these places because you were just in Peru, you went to Colombia,
Yeah.
you've been all over the place with your
Yeah.
music. So, oh, somebody's asking, would you duet with La India?
No, no, no. I'm okay. Thank you. I mean, listen, no hate, no hate. Everybody's got their own, you know, their own thing, cookie will. But for me, I think, um, I think she's doing well without having to do a duet with me. Hence, I'm doing well. I don't need to do duets. I'm right now doing my own thing, and I feel like it's going well. So, with that being said, I have to say I just finished doing Sola, and it's coming out, and it's going to be a version with a group called You Salsa de Peru. And it's a remix version. I am re-recording all my éxitos. Estoy regrabando todos mis éxitos, incluyendo de Herida, Sola, No Digas Nada, y mucho más de mi primer disco que se titula Te Sigo Esperando. So what I'm doing is regrabando las canciones, and I have one separada de, you know, de Brenda K, Starr, y también nosotros estamos invitando a este grupo Yusalsa, que es un grupo muy grande desde Perú. So with them, or I took advantage of them asking me to do it with them, with their management. And I just finished recording my part. It's been sent to Peru. They're finishing mixing and mastering. We've been promoting No Digas Nada. So Sola will be out in Peru. It's not hitting here right away because we're coming out with Mentiras, which we're finishing up the mixing and mastering next week. So I've been in between recording. I haven't been doing as many gigs other than Peru, and I did Colombia. But I'm kind of like holding off taking a lot of gigs. I've been getting gigs, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying not to overwhelm myself because I need to finish the project. So I've been doing whatever I can in between so that I don't lose focus on still having the credibility of doing the English and still pursuing the Latin career.
Yes. Hold on, because they're commenting about. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Some of the comments get flagged, which is weird.
Rob says that she need her boat detailed. I don't know. I
Hey,
gotta find that
Christine.
out. I don't think she needs to collab with India. I guess she can say it for a moment, okay? See,
Tina wants to know if you've done anything in Ecuador. Have you visited Ecuador?
Ecuador. I've only been there for promotion, for radio promotion, and we did some television, but no shows just yet. We have been invited, but we just, you know, the time that we were invited, it just didn't work out. But no, not lately.
Panda wants to know when you're going back to Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
When they invite me, when it's the right connection. You know, sometimes a lot of the promoters want to bring you, but they want to bring you with your pista. For me, I feel that it's important for, if you're paying your money, you want to see the whole band. Especially if you want to do salsa. If you want me to go there to do English, that's a different story. The English is more like freestyle pop, and I'm able to use the pista, meaning the track or the USB. But with the band situation, I just feel like it's cheating the fans out when we don't have the band. So for me, a lot of the promoters want to bring you to their club, but you know, they really don't want to pay. So you have to remember, you have management, you have your agent, you have hair and makeup, wardrobe, you have traveling expenses. So you still have something on top that you have to pay for prior to taking care of everyone else. And then you have your own expenses. So for me, a lot of the times it just doesn't work out, but it doesn't mean anytime soon. I was recently there for the Puerto Rican festival, but other than that, I haven't been there lately.
That's right. And I didn't even make it to you because I went from I went from Tito. You guys were so far apart. That was my first time going to the festival,
I know.
and Tito and Luis Damon had invited me, so I went to their stage first.
Right.
So in between their performances, I jumped over. Well, not jumped over, but got to where Chrissy was at. Got to see Chrissy, and then I'm like, okay, so where's Brenda? And they were like, oh, it's blocks and blocks.
Oh, you were talking about the Puerto
The
Rican
Puerto
Festival
Rican
in New
festival.
York?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I was at the iHeart station stage. But in Pennsylvania, I did the Puerto Rican Festival. But I think I did that like a year ago, a year and a half ago. But as for clubs, I know he was asking when I'm going to perform. But a lot of the clubs, like I said, either don't accommodate bands or you have to find a bigger location. But for the festival in New York, the 116th Street Festival, oh my God, it was great. It was a great time. It was crowded.
It was crazy.
We did an hour and 20 minutes with the band, and it was a great time. It was me, Nina Sky. We also had Sean Paul. We also had Alternate. So it was it was a good time. It was a really good time.
Yeah, it was really hot that day. I remember, and then it was funny because we wanted to try to get to you, but it was so. I was like, oh my God, I never realized. Well, the Manhattan streets are far and long as it is, and imagine in that heat trying to get from one location to another, and we were doing it on foot because there was no obviously you can't. There's no way you're doing transportation in between streets at that point. But
They didn't have any golf carts getting us around. No way, no how. And it's
yes,
several blocks. It's at least, well, let's say at least 14, 15 blocks.
yeah,
Right?
it was.
It's long in terms of talent, it's almost like a Calle Ocho, but in New York City, pretty much. You know what I mean? Just keeps going on.
And that was my first time going there just because I don't like doing crowds and who's her booking agent? Yeah, her husband, right?
Thank you, loneliness. No, if they want to book me, they can go to the team, TheTeam, the team at Brenda K Starr with 2Rs.com, or they can reach out to 732-890-4512. So that's Star Records, Star Entertainment. So we do most of the booking through our agency. And then obviously I have Sal. I have also Vito. I also get booked through, what is it? Bobby D. We also use Alan Beck. So, and sometimes we just get direct bookings. People send DMs, and anything that comes when we check the DMs or any of the messages in the office email, and people get in contact. We just did we don't do many private events, but we just did a 45th birthday for a girl in Rochester, New York. And that was a great time. We did that at the Penthouse. It was a great time. I got to perform. I was actually this girl's mom's fan. And her mom passed away when she was 10 years old. And her mom's favorite song was Sola. And she actually had a vision that she wanted me to perform for her birthday because her mom wasn't there. So I guess it was a connection. So, and she became a fan of mine through her mom. So I surprised her, and her husband booked me. So it was a beautiful night. She looked amazing. Her name was Luz Marie. And it was a nice time. It was a nice time.
Oh, that is awesome. So I like to give everyone just an hour, so I don't want to take too much time because then I want to give the chat a chance to ask you questions. But I like to do like a rapid fire. Just kind of do it fun.
Fire?
So yeah, like a rapid fire, like just a quick answer. So coffee or tea?
Tea.
Pasteles, and this is the question: pique or ketchup?
Ketchup all the way. I know. My mother does pique. For me and my brother and my sisters, we love ketchup. Not that it needs it, because my mother's pasteles are the best, but I would do that.
I know people always say you ruin it. Like I don't. I prefer the pique also. And the funniest response I've ever gotten to that was Mark Vieira saying that he doesn't like pasteles whatsoever. That I have never. I was not. He goes, everybody's gonna get mad at me, but yeah, I don't like pasteles. And I'm like, what the heck? I never expected that. What is your favorite Puerto Rican dish?
Arroz con gandules with pernil.
Freestyle or salsa?
Both.
Both.
I can't pick one. I mean, listen, I'm a hoodie girl. I'm from New York. I love my freestyle, but my mom always played salsa, so I learned to love the both. And now I didn't realize here then many years long later that I'd be having the best of both worlds. So I really don't have a preference, but performing, I would definitely say salsa. Hands down. Just because it's live and it's with the band, and a lot of people have a different perception of when the freestyle singers perform that we're lip syncing or that we have vocals. A lot of times the sound system isn't as great as we want. So there are background vocals there, which are the background vocals. But a lot of the vocals are lead. But you got to also take into consideration when you're performing with a live band, they get to see whether you're good or whether you got it or not. And a lot of people could stop, throwing the darts or throwing the daggers. This one can't sing, that one can't sing, this one's whack. Because it shows that if you could do it with a band, you got it. That's my perception. But then there's a lot of people that sing tapitas in freestyle live. But sometimes it makes me mad that some of the fans don't really give us the props that we deserve. We do this every weekend, 3 to 4 shows. And there are on nights, there's off nights, but my preference would be both music. But in terms of performing it live, I do love performing with the band live, just because for me, I have the ability to take a break and breathe in between, opposed to when you have your freestyle music, it's there, do it, get up, go. And it's like, it's nonstop. It's not very easy.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I've seen you guys. I've seen you guys with the setup. I've been backstage and watching you guys get ready and go on and having to be on point all the time for your fans. I can't imagine what you guys go through every day, and doing it 3 or 4 times in the weekend. It's insane. So of course, yeah, by Sunday you probably are wrecked and want to be just go home and
But we
take
don't
a
have a
break.
voice, because half of the time if we're like in the club or we're waiting backstage, people start talking to you. The worst thing to do as a musician is to talk backstage, because you're using your voice over loud music. So your voice is killing you. Like, I don't really want to talk, but I don't want to be rude. So it's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But it's definitely not the easiest thing if you're doing consecutive shows and you're singing, 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 singing. So the best way to take care of it is warm up, is get rest on the plane. But remember that this is just not a normal job for us, because we go on stage 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I went on the stage in Peru at 4:30 in the morning. I didn't even know how I found the voice. I just kept in my head, like, okay, I just kept going and da-da, just to make sure that I kept it open. When I got on stage and I sang, when I was done, my throat was so dry because I should have been sleeping at that time.
I
So,
know. Who goes on at 4 o'clock in the morning?
oh no, they party 2 in the afternoon. Girl, I said that to my band director. I said, ¿qué es lo que pasa aquí? Todo el mundo no se duerme. And he goes, no, aquí es un fiesta todo el día. I said, ay, no, 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 no. And then I told them, cuando me vas a buquear, tú no me voy a montarme en esa tarima a las 4 de la mañana hasta las 6 de la mañana. I said, ¿tú estás loco? Yo no puedo tener una voz. I was like, it's so hard. Put me on the stage 4:30, 5 o'clock, 6 in the morning. My voice is shot. And then you got to go the next day to Colombia. And then, sometimes you don't have the same band director. Sometimes I would fly my band director. Sometimes it would be an issue. So it's tough, but it's live. And it gives the fans the opportunity to really see, I guess, how hard you work. Because, I mean, I work hard, Spanish no fue mi primer idioma. I'm learning every day. And, I give props to all my peers that step into the salsa world, that have been doing it, and that, especially if we're New Yorkers like myself.
Yeah, even me. I talk Spanish, but I'm like, English is my first language. So sometimes even I, growing up speaking Spanish at home, I forget it. And I'm on here, mostly speak English to everyone. So I can't imagine going from English to Spanish in music. So, and I give you props because I listen to your stuff all the time, and you sound amazing. And I know to go and be able to perform it as well, it's got to be a big deal.
Well, not only that, that wasn't my first language. Even though I'm Puerto Rican and Israeli, in my house, I always spoke to my siblings in English, and my mother would speak in Spanish randomly, like if, stupid things like, what are we going to eat? We bug my mother with, mierda, cállate la boca, te voy a meter una like she would come out with stuff like that. But I think when they offered me the record contract, I learned how to sing in Spanish because fonética. I used to write toda la letra en fonética para aprenderlo. And so I would sit there, pronounce it, put it in phonetic spelling, translate it in English with my mom from English to Spanish, and we would work together. And then I would work with my producer, Humberto Ramirez. But I think my biggest fear singing salsa at one point was the interviews, remembering the words to the song, because I'm here now 30 years later and they're asking me to sing Te Sigo Esperando. They're asking me to sing Rabia. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't sang these songs in years. I'm used to like Herida por ese hombre, No digas nada, Sola, Gata bajo la lluvia, and etc. So, por eso, so now that they want to hear the old stuff, I got to sit there and reconnect myself with the song so I can make sure that I'm prepared.
Panda wants to know, how did you get the role in Beat Street?
I was hanging out in Roxy's roller rink one night, which happened to be 1018s at the time. And I used to go on the weekends with my girlfriends. And I was in a breakdance group called the Dynamic Breakers and Dynamic Dolls. Dynamic Dolls was the female version of the Dynamic Breakers. They brought up a situation that they were going to be trying out for a movie. I was like, yeah, okay, what movie? Rin Tin Tin? Because I was like, you gonna be in a movie? Like, now they're gonna be in a movie because Rocksteady was up and popping at the time, Crazy Legs, etc. So Doze and all of them, and Kuriaki, they were all over the place. So they were like, yo, we got an interview. We're gonna go be in a movie. I'm like, one movie. They were like, yo, we gotta be dope. So we met up downtown. They used to hang out in Chelsea. So we met up in the studio and they were all like up rocking. And I only knew how to pop lock, because I always do it on stage. And by the way, I don't care what all those comments are. She's whack. Why she trying? Where's she doing this? Let me explain something to you. For me, I find joy in remembering my youth. I'll be 90 popping because for me, I love to have a good time. I'm not dancing to prove that, I'm trying to win the crowd over, overdo it. That's just me. I love to have fun. So anyway, I still love to pop lock. And back in the day, I was learning how to do it because I was hanging out with the girls. But I remember telling Kano, who was the leader of the group, Inspired, I was like, yo, how about I write you a song and while y'all break, I'll like rap. And they were like, word? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna rap. And they were like, all right, so you gotta write something, but it gotta be with like dynamic breakers. I was like, I got this. So I went home and I put on Africa Bambaataa, the boom doo doo doo, Planet Rock. It was not Africa Bambaataa, it was Planet Rock. And then I just started going, hey you, yeah, I'm talking to you. And then I made it up and I was like, the dynamic beat. So then when we the next day had the audition, it was just crazy. Channel 7 News was covering all the people preparing, and they happened to know that we were in that studio because people were saying where people were practicing, and they asked if they could interview us. So me as a kid in the background, I just started singing. And some guy named Nelson Cruz, fast forward, who sings Baby Don't Go, who passed away, God bless his soul, he wanted to know who was that girl. And they were like, yo, that's Brenda Starr. And I put the K in because my father's name is Kaplan and I wanted to still give him respect. So I left it Brenda K Starr. And my mother used to call me her superstar when I was a kid. So they said, what's your name going to be? I said, I'm going to be Brenda Starr. And then they were like, all right. So my mother said, keep the K. And I said, yeah, for dad. So I did. So Nelson Cruz came up to me in the club and said, yo, are you Brenda Starr? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, yo, my name is Nelson Cruz. I want to talk to you because I think I got you a record deal. I heard you sing. Somebody's interested. They want to sign a record deal. Let me get your number. And I was like, no, you can give me your number, because I thought he was trying to hit on me. And I was young. So he ended up giving me his number. And the next day, I end up calling him. But another reason why I didn't give him my phone number at the time was because I didn't have a phone in my apartment. There was a payphone in my neighborhood right downstairs from my building that I used to receive phone calls on. And people used to be like, hello, hi, can I speak to Brenda? Hold on. So I used to live on the third floor, and the other building I lived on the fourth floor. But I remember at that time I lived on the third floor. They used to bring Brenda. I used to be like, what's up? Yo, the phone, you got a phone call. I used to come downstairs, and it was Nelson Cruz. And I called him. He called me back at the payphone. My aunt took me to meet up with him, and we went to the record label, and there was Atlantic Records. And I met Jerry Greenberg, and I didn't have a demo, so I sang Love on a Two-Way Street, an a cappella. And he just loved my personality, and he loved my voice. And he says, okay, well, I'm gonna talk to you. I'll get back to you. And then Nelson reached out again and said, listen, he wants you to go to his office. And I said, okay. So that time I went by myself, because the first time I went with my aunt. And Nelson got me my first record deal with Jerry Greenberg, and Jerry Greenberg signed me. So he was the one who opened the doors for me. Him and Harry Belafonte too, because when I got into Beat Street, Harry Belafonte connected me with David Pickett and Arthur Baker. But I was really only supposed to be in the movie as a breakdancer. But I really wanted to sing in the movie. So what I did is, after we auditioned, everybody had to leave. And I had already asked Harry Belafonte if I could sing for him, because I auditioned as a dancer. You know, I went up to him. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm a singer. Can I sing in your movie? Long story short, he had me sing for someone else. And that guy connected me to Arthur Baker. And he gave me the record deal. After I got the deal for the movie soundtrack is when Nelson came looking for me, saying, I remember you. You're the girl. Would you like to meet this guy? He wants to give you a deal. But I had a production deal before I got the major deal with Atlantic. I was able to get out because I was a minor, but I met Jerry Greenberg through Nelson. But Nelson was the one who really put that together and made me get into the door of a major label. It was distributed by Atlantic Records.
That is awesome. I'm gonna have to look at Beat Street, because I swear I don't remember the last time I saw it, and now I gotta go back. It was like when I spoke to when I did the interview with George, and he brought up the song that you guys did together.
No matter what.
Yeah, and then he talks about the part he was like, you guys gotta check it out. We're there, we're standing, and she pushes me, and I'm on the edge. And so I think everybody that was on that live, I'm like, okay, guys, now we got to go watch that video to see if we noticed the part.
It was so funny. We were in Minneapolis, and we were filming No Matter What. And I had just had Kayla. She was only 3 weeks old, and my mother came out to watch her. We were filming the video, and I remember they said, okay, now we want you guys to sit near the bridge. And George, you sit there, and Brenda, you lay like between his legs, kind of like you're looking up at him. And I was like, ah. And I didn't realize, and I felt bad. He was like, what? And I almost threw him over the bridge. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize, like, that I almost really pushed him over. I tried to scare him, but when he leaned back, he almost fell over. So I was
like, I'm on this bridge, and it was so funny that I'm like, I think I watched it, because he said he did say, he goes, if you watch it, you probably have to rewatch it because it's so quick. And then I just laughed, because I'm like, okay, now I gotta watch it, because I gotta see what he's talking about. Probably after I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go look for Beat Street and see where I can watch it. But
it's funny because my mom styled me for Beat Street back in the day. I've always loved those short Madonna boots, but my hair was in a mullet. Oh my God, it was a wreck. It was a wreck. Thank God it was back in the day. It may have been in fashion back then, but it definitely would not be happening now.
Well, someone in the comments is not sure that is you in the background, but that is her in the background.
It is me. Well, maybe you can't tell right now, but it is me. And I guess when I have a good makeup artist, I'll look that good. This is me without makeup. And this is me made up, you know. That's the joy of being able to wear makeup, lashes, contour. And obviously, you have a great photographer that edits amazing. So for me, this is the natural, and this is the hype one. So
and natural, you're naturally beautiful. So you don't need all of that, which is great. But your poster is amazing for anyone that's asking in the chat. But anyway, we don't want to tapping out. Just want to thank you, Gary, for joining. Gary's in the chat. We got a bunch
of yes, I see. Hey, G.
Thank you, guys. So if anyone has any questions, we don't want to keep her for too long.
No,
But
and it's not like I'm. Where am I going? Where am I going?
she's like, where am I going?
Peace Street, the king of the bees. Yeah. So yes, I just finished doing a benefit for fighting fibroids. I did that, and just recording and trying to finish putting this production together and working on a brand new show with the Salsa band. And No Digas Nada's been out, and we went to Colombia, we went to Peru, set to go in September to Puerto Rico, and then in November and December to Panama for just press promotion and hopefully some more shows. But that's basically what I've been doing. And then as for the English, Set Me Free's been out. We did do the video. We finally got the final cut. It took so long for us to do it because I had been doing it in between traveling. So Brooklyn Jules did a great job helping with the production, and it's very simple. It's just more like a video with a woman that's reflecting on life and looking out a window and setting herself free. She turns into a bird that flies away, and she's going out, finding herself, enjoying space and time with her friends, and learning how to forget about just really a majority of women, or even in relationships, we tend to put more into that, our children, our relationships, that we forget ourselves. And I think that that's what Set Me Free was about. It was about being alone, being separated, and finding myself, and learning that not only are relationships hard, you have to always put yourself first to be the best version of yourself. So it's been a transitional life for me for the last year and a half. But, I stand strong. I stand strong in myself, my person. I work hard every day in terms of making my career work, in terms of saying, that nothing is ever easy in life. If it comes to you that easy, then it's not worth having, as well as your relationship. So for me, I work every day on the relationship. I'm trying to instill in my kids how important it is to hold on to your relationship, to your marriage, to your friendship, to your partnership, but never let yourself be last. And that's what Set Me Free was about. So,
And I think that's a lot of people tend to do that in relationships. They forget who they are. I was married for 20 years, and in the process of after my divorce, I had to figure out who I was, because you have to kind of like figure yourself out, because now you're going from a we to a me, is how I always thought of it. And in your song, obviously everyone loves it because it resonates with a lot of people, because they feel the same way. Like, oh my God, I've been here for so long. Now I'm in this position and I got to take over, and I got to take care of myself, which is why this song hits for so many people.
right, and I do. And somebody wanted to know how old I am. I'm actually 59. I'm going to be 60 in October. October 14th. I'm a Libra. So I'm going to be 60 in October. And I, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good for 60. I don't feel 60, and I don't know if 60 is supposed to feel aches and pains, but I can tell you I don't like to wear heels like I used to because my feet kill me. But
I know somebody was asking, are your feet okay?
my feet are good because I got chancletas on and I'm sitting down. But
Let me see. Rose is like, your red cape must be in the cleaners every week. Oh my God.
what do you
Mom,
mean
wife,
my red
glamour.
cape? What does that mean, my red cape?
She's saying that you're a Wonder Woman. You do all the stuff.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I try my best. Yes, my feet feel much better from that private event this weekend. That's how crazy it was. I did English and Spanish for this girl's birthday party. That was the surprise party. And, my feet were killing me. So I literally had Chris with chancletas on the side. I was like, yo, my feet are killing me. Do you mind? Because I was into like the seventh song. So the girls were like, this one girl opens a bag and had like a little thing and poof, a pair of brand new things. But when I put them on, I had like that much space. But I look like an elf when they took pictures. But it was nice that they even offered it, and then Chris is like, oh, I left the slippers on the other side of the stage. I'm like, whatever.
The thing that always stands out to me, and I only share it because you shared it, was the time that we were at, oh my God, I can't remember the venue in New Jersey, when you got there and you're like, okay, so where's my bag? And Chris is like, what are you talking about? And
He
you're
left my
like,
bag on the driveway.
on
He
the
left the
driveway.
bag on the
Everybody's looking at the
driveway.
ring camera and the bag is sitting on the driveway.
Oh my God. And then the crazy thing is that C Bank her feet are much smaller than mine, and we shared the dressing room, and I'm like, what am I gonna wear? I went there with a pair of leather pants and like a black low foot, like a sneaker, I had a sneaker, and
I think
no,
you
no,
had
no,
like
I
a
had a little
jogging
black
suit, like
flat,
runners.
it was a black flat boot, and then I had a leather black pants straight leg, and then I had like a little top, but it was baggy. So C-Bank hooked me up with a top and a pair of shoes, and I went on stage, and I don't know how I made it work, but I made it
You
work.
did.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like it's how how you resonate. It's like with me, like when I hear you and people talk about, oh my God, Brenda. I'm like, no, because you got to see the other side of Brenda. So the other side of Brenda is where like she goes on stage. No one in the audience would know this is going on, but Brenda's like, yeah, well, this is not mine because my husband. So shout out to Chris.
I threw him under the bus. I did.
Yes.
I
And
did.
people are like, what? Wait
He's
a
the blame
minute.
of everything. If it doesn't go right, he's the blame. We're just gonna say he's the blame.
He's the blame because hey, listen, you gotta have somebody to blame. Why not? But
Listen, no
I
matter
always
what, I
remember
mean,
that.
I think just to have someone in your corner and have him as, not even my husband, have him as my homeboy. He's my partner, no matter what, whether it's good or bad, ugly, good, marriage, divorce, separation, it's still, he's my best. He's my homie. It's like we vibe. We have a great, there's ups and downs. No one could ever say something is perfect. And if you do, give me the recipe because we work together. We do transportation together. We have a family together. We're grandparents together. And I think a lot of people would be easier to say, give it up and walk out. But I think for me, sometimes taking a breath like set me free and learning about myself is taught me in this past year and a half that sometimes when you're honest with your partner and you work through the bad times, you become more better friends than you were husband and wife. So right now it's just about learning how this year has turned me over as not only as a woman but as someone who has taken pure control over my life and has been able to convey to my partner that it's not that I don't love that person, because I love that man dearly. He's my everything. He's my best friend. He's my partner in crime. He's my partner in business. But sometimes women have to learn how to say, if they feel lost within themselves, I need to take a step back and learn how to love me again, and to just have a partner that's willing to let me find me and him to find himself. It just shows the growth because it's not always easy. And if you just say, hey, I'm going to divorce, hey, I'm done, then I think it's not only a bad example for your kids, your grandkids, your family, but it shows a form of giving up. And sometimes giving up is not always the answer for me, especially, so I think, I love what I do. And I think partnership is a part of learning about each other. We met young and we continue to learn about each other as we evolve. We're really learning about new people because we become different people with time. And that's why Set Me Free was my very favorite song that I've ever written and always remember is about us. Julio Mena wrote that song. Herida was about having my heart broken, not by my husband, about other issues. Doesn't have to be romantically involved. Losing my English deal and finding a way to make it to salsa and being broken. And I still believe. So every story of my life has to convey through my music. So, and
And it does. I think with every song that you have sung, from I Still Believe to Herida to Ese Hombre, all of those things that they've just been, everyone along the way and all those steps have shown your growth as an artist. Plus it just continues to resonate with everyone, and we just love it. We're all here for it. You as a person, not just an artist. And, I get the pleasure in saying that I know Brenda K. Starr. Like, I've hung out with her. We go on the cruises together. Yeah, we're not hanging all the time, but, I get to say that, I get to chill with you and it's not weird. Like, like, oh, Brenda doesn't know who the hell I am, but, I'll say hi to her, but no.
No, and that's the thing. And I think that's the best part. of this job is that people don't believe that when you take pictures with them. Like I took pictures with a bunch of people in the Mikasuki Casino and Resort, and I was like, oh, thank you, Peter, thank you, Jeanette, thank you, Myra, thank you, Sandra. She's like, how do you remember my name? And I just feel like sometimes it's important to listen and always remember that, I wouldn't be in this position si no fuera por mis fanáticos, if it wasn't for my fans, the people I met along the way. It really takes a village to make it happen. So my source of, encouragement and push and drive comes from the fans. So just saying, like you said, hanging out with you, some people consider it like, oh, you're too close to the fans. Don't be close to the fans. For me, it's like, I'm a normal person. This is just my job. Sometimes I get, a little like hard, kind of like tough love from my assistants and my manager and my agents. Like, you got to separate yourself sometimes because sometimes I'm too friendly, and sorry if that's a bad thing to have. But for me, I just am very humble, and I don't like taking for granted that tomorrow this won't be here. So for the day, until the day it ends, I'll remain this humble person that I am. And sorry if you don't really like that, because I can't be something I'm not.
And you know what? You are absolutely right, because you are one of the most humblest people that I have had a chance to meet. And it's been a pleasure knowing you and being able to have this conversation and to see you. And when I see you and you perform and me singing along with you, it just makes me feel like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like to be a fan and to be able to be this close as well, it means a lot to me. And I'm sure, like, to all these people that are on here, we got 62 people in the room right now, and everyone has been saying the same things. We go to the Freestyle Cruise, and she always seems to remember us and take, I guess she means pictures with us. Yes, Norma Rodriguez. Norma, you going on the cruise next year?
We hope so.
Yes. Okay, so wait, 21 questions says
Chestnut Country, love you too. Libra
Angel from
City with the house.
Chicago. Hey,
21
Belinda.
questions. Can't wait to finally meet you face to face, Mimi. Ditto. It's going to be a great time. Thank you, Betsy. Appreciate you, Pat Nieves. God bless you too. Te quiero, Brenda. Te amo también, Carlos. Muchísimas gracias por todo su apoyo. ¿De a dónde vienen? I saw Brenda in March. She brought out her mom. Yeah, I bring out my mom a lot. My mom loves to come to the shows. Actually, she's like, where are we going next weekend? So my mom's coming to Beatstock. I chose not to get any passes this year. Vito had asked me like 2 months ago, do you have any guests? Do you want to bring anyone? Let me know. And I was like, no. I said, because, I was traveling right after the 16th. I'm actually going to Florida to work on my Latin production. I'm doing pre-production. So it's kind of like a vacation, but work. Just a non-paid job. It's like working to put the whole record thing together. So my mom wanted to go. So she called me and said, call Vito. I'm going to the show. And I was like, Ma, I don't have to call Vito. You're my mom. And sure enough, I had to call Vito. I was like, Vito, remember I said I don't want anywhere. My mom's coming. Then he turned around and he's like, you don't have to ask me for your mom. She's always at all the shows. So my mom's going to come. She's like,
That's
me on
awesome.
stage.
Oh, she wants to go on stage too. Your mom is
Oh,
awesome.
girl. She got on stage the last time. She's like, tell them that I'm 87.
How old is mom?
So proud. She's gonna be 88.
Oh, God bless. But that is awesome. Yeah, I've seen your mom. I mean, obviously I've seen your children because you brought them on the cruise and at shows, and you can tell that you guys are so close, and it's great to see. So, all right, guys, let's give her a couple of more minutes, and then we're gonna let her go because it is late. We don't want to keep her too long.
Okay.
But anyone else have any quick questions for Brenda?
Patience Cortez says, saw you in Bastancia, La Bastances in Boston. You sang the very first song I ever fell in love with. Oh, really? Well, thank you for the support. God bless you too, Mimi. Any questions? DJ Blake, Brenda K. Starr, when you coming back to the Copa? Never. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have to be honest. I didn't really have a good experience the last time I performed at the Copa. It was not promoted. It was something private. I came through, but I really felt that, and it wasn't the promoter's situation. It was actually the people that worked in-house. They weren't very kind to the people, and I was just very uncomfortable, and I will never return there. And it's not your original Copa anymore. And I know I shouldn't be saying that, but I'm not going to fool the people. It's not where Glee used to come from. And then I just wasn't very happy with them. I don't think they were professional with me. And I've never done anything live and said anything like this, but I have to be real with my fans. I won't be returning there. And I just wasn't happy with the way they not only treated the fans, but the way they treated the artists. And if it was up to me, I probably would have not performed. But because there were people there, and whether it was packed or not, it's still people that paid their money and expected to see us perform. Hence why I didn't leave and I didn't think of the promoter. I thought more of what the fans were waiting for. But that'll be the last time I'll perform there. Yeah.
I went there to see for Sammy Zone's birthday. Yeah, and it's very small. It's very
Not even
small.
small, it's just not really, it's just not professional. I just didn't feel like the professionalism was there. That's my ultimate, that's my opinion. People can attest, or maybe people have their opinions, but I just didn't like, I was not happy with the way we were treated. So not
Oh,
only
so
myself, but there were other artists.
the birthday party that you did for Luz Maria, um, Leo Brick City said that that was her cousin. She said at the end of July, I guess just recently, you just did a birthday party for Luz Maria.
Yeah. No, I
It's
think it was Luz Mari, something like that. Yeah.
yeah. So
It was a
that's
nice time. It was a beautiful spot. Actually, Tony Vega was performing for the Puerto Rican Festival right downstairs, and I did it one year as well for the community of Rochester, New York. But it was a good job. It was a good time. This is an artist that did your painting. Just trying to say hi. 21 questions. I actually had an artist in, I think his name was Angel. I don't know
that's
the
him.
last name, but he was amazing. He did a photo of me that I have upstairs. And I want to put it in my room. I'm in the middle of doing some renovations because I had a leak from the storm, and I live on the water, so I had some really bad damage. So I recently just had to have the walls repaired, opened, and now we're just putting a new floor. But as soon as the office is ready, I'm gonna display the artwork. And he's an amazing artist. Matter of fact, hit me up because there's something I want to do for someone as a gift. So I'd like to offer you the job because I need a painting done.
There
So
you go. 21 questions. Hit her up.
yeah. So
Well, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you
you're
any longer.
welcome.
You've been on, and thank you. You've been a pleasure, everyone. I'm sure everybody in here agrees. And I thank you again for doing this with me. Thank you for being here, being so open and speaking freely as you always do.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you soon, hopefully at another event soon, because I know there haven't
Maybe
been
at
many.
Beatstock, maybe at Beatstock. If not, at one of the shows that come up that are open, obviously, to the public. I mean, obviously, Beatstock, I'm sure there's still tickets available, as well as the Hard Rock. But before closing out the interview, just wanted to reiterate this in English to all the fans. I just want to say thank you guys so much for always being so supportive, for basically giving me a platform to do what I love to do. And I want you all to know that for as long as I continue to do this, you guys really mean everything to me. And I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for you, for tuning in, whether it was only 50, 60, 70, or 20,000 people. You still mean that much to me. And I thank you so much for tuning in with Cheche. Continue to follow her and show her the love so that her podcast can continue to grow. Follow TikTok, the platform. Y bueno, tengo que darle las gracias a todos los fanáticos que están en sintonía con ustedes de este podcast Cheche en TikTok. Quiero darle las gracias a todos ustedes por siempre apoyar mi música, por darme la oportunidad para tener esta plataforma, para expresar mi emoción y como te dar las gracias por siempre apoyarme. Te amo con todo mi corazón. Muy pronto viene una nueva sencillo que se titula No digas nada, también mentiras. Gracias a mi gente de Sudamérica, gracias a mi gente de los Estados Unidos por siempre apoyarme. Te amo con todo mi corazón. Que me vaya con Dios y muchísimas gracias por estar en sintonía. Te amo.
Love you. Thank you so, so much again. And I hope to see you soon. I can't wait. And then, of course, we got the cruise in January.
Yes, and if you haven't signed up, sign up. There's only 30-something spaces left available for the private beach party, but I'm sure there's some cabins available. You don't want to miss out. Get that money in and get that money in now, and let's have a great time. God bless everybody. Continue to stay tuned in with Cheche. Love you.
Love you too.